Good morning, everyone. Father Hoffa here with your next installment of WWW Wednesday Walking with the Word. Today we celebrate, on this last day of January, the memorial of St. John Bosco, a huge champion of youth. And it's timely since it's Catholic Schools Week, and we're celebrating the gift of Catholic schools and all the great things that they do, especially in the evangelization of children. So that's a good thing. And we hear in the gospel today, Jesus, he talks about the fact that he comes to his own hometown, and people are just like, isn't this the carpenter's son? Like, who's this guy to tell us? And, how can he be the one who's doing these things? And we hear at the end that Jesus is astonished by their lack of faith. And I think one of the things when we consider, and I may have mentioned this before, but it's never good to put God in a box. But it's never good to put other people in a box either, because of the power of God able to work in them. And I think that's speaks to the power of God's grace. I often joke, especially being back here in Berks County, that there are definitely people who wonder, how did Alan Hoffa, that kid from Exeter, the kid that we knew in school, how did he become a priest? And I tell people all the time, it is the grace of God at work, and it is 100% that, and it is not me, because that's what brings transformation. But the truth is that when we look at other people and we say, how can that person be a priest? Or how could that person have changed? How could that person be a doctor or a lawyer? One of the things that was really neat this past Friday, I had the opportunity to be at the wedding celebration of two students that I had in high school when I was at Allentown Central Catholic. And one of the great things to see was all of their classmates, all the success. And there are ones that in high school, maybe they weren't ready to have the job that they have now, but they went off to college and they matured and they found their passion and all of those things. But if someone would have said, oh, you could have never done that because you weren't ready to do that at one point in your life, or you were too this or that, you didn't have the grades or whatever the case may be, it's never good to put people in a box, especially because the power of God is at work in their life, in my life, in your life. And so when we hear Jesus goes into this town today, one of the things that happened because of their lack of faith was that he was prevented from curing many of their sick, and that was not good. And so instead of being those roadblocks to what God wants to do, what we're called to do is actually to be able to encourage what God is wanting to do in each and every one of our lives. And so be missionaries of encouragement. As we, again, celebrate Catholic Schools Week and we celebrate St. John Bosco's memorial today, he was that man of encouragement. He was that priest of encouragement for all those young people around him, to let them know about faith and their potential and how much God loved them. And that's not only for young people, we need to do that for adults as well. And so spreading that good news about who God is, not keeping people in a box, but letting the transformative power of God's grace be at work in the lives of others, is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So this has been your next installment of WWW Wednesday Walking with the Word. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. The power of God's grace is very powerful. The conversion factor of God's grace is at work all the time, in you, in me. I'm definitely witness to it. I'm proof of it. And so are you. Let it be so for other people. Don't put them in a box. God bless everybody.